I'd like to call the Hammond Redevelopment Commission meeting to order on this Tuesday, February 4th, 2020. It is now 4:30. Could you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence there? Commissioner Myrick's, can you lead us?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Commissioner. Can we have a roll call on tonight's commissioners?
Merrick,
Here.
Soto Presley, Kasperky,
Here.
Myrick's,
Here.
Albridge.
Here, for the record, we have 4 present with 1 absent. Okay, number 3 is declaration of conflict of interest. Number 4 is communications.
None were received.
Okay, number 5 is homebound municipal forgivable loan approval. Looks like we have 3 applicants. Welcome, if you guys can all come forward and maybe introduce yourself here at the microphone. You can all just kind of stand around each other and then just one person at a time. Don't be shy.
Paula Palacio.
And how did you hear about our program?
I heard it from my brother Antonio Palacio.
Okay. And then the young lady right behind you.
Hi, I'm Jovette Mendez,
And how did you hear about our program?
by my real estate agent.
May I ask who's your agent?
Excuse me?
Who's your agent?
Jennifer Martinez.
Okay. And last but not least.
Paulina Campos.
And how did you hear about our program?
My boyfriend, he lives in Hammond.
Oh, okay. So are all you guys first-time home buyers? Yes. Okay. Anyone else has any questions for these applicants?
Nope.
Mr. President, I make a motion for the approval of the homebound conditional forgivable loan program for the 3 applicants.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for our homebound conditional forgivable loan approval for the 3 applicants that are present tonight. If there's no further questions for these applicants, roll call then, please.
Merrick,
Yes.
Soto Presley. Yes. Kasperky,
Yes.
Myrick's,
Yes.
Albridge.
Yes, motion passes 5 yes. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
You may be excused if you like. Thanks you for coming out.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Okay, for the record, Soto Presley is present now, so we do have 5.
I apologize for being late.
That's okay. With all the trains in Hammond, it's kind of understandable. All right, number 6 is an approval of the 10th Amendment Agreement to purchase real estate for 628 Hoffman Street.
Members of the commission, if you would look in your package, you will find a 10th Amendment to the agreement for a purchase of real estate. This is for the property located at, I believe, 628 Hoffman Street. And as it states, this is the 10th Amendment to the development agreement between this body and Park Development.
If memory serves me correctly, last time this came up, we said last time was going to be the last time?
You have a good memory.
Commissioner, can you refresh my memory also? I vaguely recall, but I don't remember all the particulars. Could you refresh my memory, please?
That's pretty much all I remember. I remember saying that, or whoever said it's been going on a long time, and that it's getting silly, and we extended it one last time, and we said that, we got to take a look at it, not doing it anymore.
Because it would become, it would set up.
I mean, at some point, we should be able to sell it to some, or at least market it to somebody else.
Yeah.
So one of the things you could do is you could deny approval of the 10th Amendment and instruct your staff to put the property out for RFP and/or continue the discussion with this particular developer.
Well, we all know how I feel about this. It's been almost 2 years. I mean, how much due diligence do you need? I mean, I don't even remember who the purchaser is. I don't remember the purchase
At one point, it was Porter's Cleaners. How about that from memory? But,
Well, this is a different person, and definitely I do understand the commission's standpoint on this. And I would agree with Attorney Westland that at this time, if you choose to deny it because of the fact that it has been, because this is the 10th amendment to this, a piece of property that's owned by this commission, and we go back and sort of revisit and see if there's any additional interest, or even speak to this prospect and say, okay, has something changed in your potential project? Do you have another tenant? Then you could do that at this time.
I know you guys do all the heavy lifting, but like, there's no one even here to explain that a positive reinforcement to extend the agreement. I tend to think I'm against it.
So am I. So with that being said, Mr. President, I make a motion to disapprove a 10th amendment to this agreement, and we can have staff enter a conversation to determine if they are still interested, and if they're not, then let's put it on the market.
We would need to get authorization.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess I stated that wrong.
No, you were good. You just need to add to that if this isn't going to go, then we want authorization to advertise.
Okay.
All right.
With authorization to advertise if we're not successful, I guess.
I second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. We're denying the approval of the 10th Amendment agreement to purchase real estate at 628 Hoffman with approval to advertise the property. Is there any further questions or discussion? Okay, roll call, please.
Merrick,
Yes.
Soto Presley,
Yes.
Casperky,
Yes,
Myrick,
Yes.
Alpridge.
Yes, motion passes 5 yes.
And I will contact a representative from Park Development at the conclusion of this meeting to tell them the outcome of the vote.
Okay, thank you. All right, number 7 is a Community Development Block Grant Memorandum of Understanding.
So members of the commission, if you look in your package, you will find a memorandum of understanding for the Community Development Block Grant. And basically what this memorandum of understanding entails is, as you know, the Department of Planning and Development is funded through federal funding from the Department of Housing and Urban Development. Some of the programs that we offered are paid for with some of those dollars. One of the programs that we have is the sports voucher program, where children who otherwise would not be able to participate in sports within the city of Hammond are now able to participate because we use federal funds in the form of a voucher to allow them to play. Previously, one of the basketball organizations was they previously were owned by another entity, and they were ran by a different entity outside of the city of Hammond. At such a point in time that they decided that after years of being very faithful and committed, and at such a point in time they decided that they were not going to do it anymore, the Sportsplex took that over. Well, in order for us to basically pay the Sportsplex, which is a division of the city because it's ran through the Parks Department, we would need this memorandum of understanding. Staff has met with HUD, and HUD is in agreement to this. So this is just a clean way so basically one branch of the city can pay another branch. We're still going to use the voucher program. The children will still have to income qualify, but we didn't want kids not to be able to participate in the program because we're running it or the Sportsplex is running it. That wouldn't be fair to them. So we went down, we talked to HUD to find a way whereas we could use those vouchers so kids that otherwise wouldn't be able to play would be able to play with that voucher.
if HUD's happy with it, I guess I would be too, but aren't we the Sportsplex?
We are, so that's why this document is necessary, because before we paid the voucher, we were paying an outside entity. So basically, we're paying, the voucher is paying the Sportsplex because they're the ones that's actually running the program. So we need this. It's similar, we've done it in the past, and Dave, you can chime in if you want. We've done it in the past when we have to pay from one branch to the other, one branch of the city to another, just so it's a clean paper trail.
You have to explain to them why you're taking federal funds and moving it into your own account, right?
So it doesn't appear we're paying ourselves.
Mr. President, I move for the approval of Community Development Block Grant Memorandum of Understanding.
And I second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for the Community Development Block Grant Memorandum of Understanding. Can we have a roll call on that, please?
Merrick?
Yes.
Soto Presley?
Yes.
Hasbricki?
Yes.
Irick?
Yes.
Hopperidge?
Yes, motion passes 5 yes. Okay, number 8's that's a public hearing. That's to consider confirmation of amending declaratory resolution 07-2019, amending declaratory resolution adopted by the commission on December 17, 2019, as approved by the Hammond Plan Commission on December 17, 2019, and as approved by the Common Council on January 13, 2020, which amended the redevelopment plan for the Hammond Gateways redevelopment area. The redevelopment area and approved the redevelopment plan for the Gateways redevelopment area, Florida Parish Sub-Area Expansion Area, known as Sub-Area Expansion Area and Sub-Area Expansion Area as planned. I will now open up the public hearing. If anybody would like to come forward, you can speak. Public hearing is open. Okay, public hearing is closed.
Members of the commission, Dan Bowles is here to discuss this matter further and answer any questions that you may have.
Welcome, Mr. Bowditch.
Good afternoon, Commission members, Commission President. This evening, the public hearing is the final step before a confirmatory resolution. The Redevelopment Commission on December 17th adopted and approved its Resolution 7, 2019, amending the declaratory resolution for the Gateways redevelopment area and amending the plan and the declaratory resolution for 2 specific sub-areas, Florida Avenue sub-area, as well as the Parish Avenue sub-area, both also to be designated as allocation provisions for tax increment financing, specific to the Florida Avenue sub-area for residential development, the extension of utilities that would allow between 10 to 12 new residential home parcels and residential homes to be developed, and the Parish Avenue sub-area to be developed once the tracks grant and the overpass is built. That will open up approximately about, I believe it was 30 to 40 acres of land for new development. So the plan was amended, the boundaries as well as the plan was amended for that purpose. The amended declaratory resolution and the plan which was presented to you and approved was sent to the Plan Commission. And on December 17th, the Plan Commission approved it as consistent with your official planning documents, the master plan, as well as any other planning documents associated with the Gateways redevelopment area and its expansion. On January 13th, 2020, the city's Common Council, as the designating body of the Plan Commission, as well as the Plan Commission is advisory to the city, they approved a resolution formally approving the Plan Commission's action and finding of fact on the plan as consistent with the official documents. At that point in time, public notice was published in the papers. That was done on or before January 23rd, I believe, was the date that it was published, was a Thursday. Overlapping taxi units were notified of the amending declaratory resolution by certified mail, as well as neighborhood associations and planning and development agencies, commissions, and boards were notified in the city. So now that the public hearing has been completed, opened and closed, the process now by statute is for the Redevelopment Commission to confirm all those processes that occurred, and that is in a confirming resolution that basically says you did what you should have according to the statute to make sure everybody was informed, that it went through the necessary approvals by the Plan Commission, by the city, and you held the public hearing. That's basically an overview.
So this is,
If there's any questions.
so we're the final step.
Yes, you're in the final step, which would be the confirming resolution. And just,
Today?
I don't believe it's on the agenda today.
No, that's what I'm saying, it's not on the
Right.
agenda.
Right, but that's the next step for the confirming resolution. So just for your information and purposes, all the dates and all the information go by the declaratory resolution, which was approved on December 17th, 2019. The confirming resolution just states that it went through the entire process and everything was done accordingly.
We should have that next meeting, right?
Yes. And we have that resolution already drafted, and we can get that ready for you. That's all.
And we thank you for your update.
Oh, you are welcome, as usual. It's always a pleasure to come before the commission. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bowditch. All right. Look forward to that on the next agenda then. All right, number 9's our reports. Ms. Africa Tara, would you like to share anything tonight?
Yes, I would like to invite the members of the commission to the annual Black History Program, which will be held this Thursday at 10 a.m. at the Hammond Sportsplex located on Indianapolis Boulevard. This year, the theme is celebrating men and women who proudly protect and serve. So they'll be honoring men and women that are police officers within the city of Hammond that are African American.
Very good, thank you.
Thank you.
Will there be hot dogs?
Not that day, but I'm sure we'll have refreshments after.
All right, that brings us to number 10, our bills, register of claims.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to pay the register of claims for January 2nd, 2020 through January 17th, 2020. Register of claims R58332. Pardon me?
It's wrong. Read the one on the second page.
You have two of them here?
On the second page, read it in the middle where it says, beginning with claims dated. I forgot to change the title, sorry.
Oh, okay. Okay, so, I'd like to make a motion to pay the register of claims, beginning with claims dated January 8th, 2020, and ending with claims dated January 30th, 2020. Claims number R58332 through R58425.
Second?
Okay, we have a motion and a second on the claims. Is there any further questions or discussion for staff on these claims? Okay, then roll call on the claims.
Merrick,
Yes.
Total Presley,
Yes.
Kaspricki,
Yes.
Myrick,
Yes.
Upridge.
Yes, motion passes, 5 yes. Number 11, new and unfinished business.
None at this time.
Okay. Number 12, public comment. It is now open. You have 3 minutes if anybody would like to come forward and speak. Okay, public comment is closed. Number 13.
Mr. President, I make a motion to adjourn.
Second?
Okay, we have a motion and a second to adjourn. Can you all signify by ayes?
Aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Meeting is adjourned.